everyone, it's Ashley and today I am bringing you a This Then That video. So for those of you who don't know, this is something I started on my channel a little while ago, and it is essentially I pick a series or a book and I tell you if you liked this, then try that. So it is basically a video where I give you a bunch of recommendations based on your interest in a specific book or series. I did my first video on Looking for Alaska by John Green, and I will leave it linked in the description box down below if you want to check that out. But today we are going to be talking about book recommendations if you liked Cinder by Marissa Meyer or The Lunar Chronicles as a whole by Marissa Meyer. So I'm going to start by recommending Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is kind of a very obvious pick, to me at least, mainly because Cinder is a fairy tale retelling and this is one of the most adult-like fairy tale-esque stories that I have ever read. I also just highly recommend this book. I really like it. But it's Neil Gaiman's take on a adult fairy tale, pretty much. He uses all of the archetypes, all of the tropes. It's amazing and great. So if you're looking for a fractured fairy tale to try after Cinder, I would highly recommend this one. Next, we have The 100 by Cass Morgan. I'm recommending this if you liked Cinder due to its sci-fi elements rather than its fairy tale elements. This is set so far in the future, just like Cinder is. It's definitely a dystopian sci-fi, but just like Cinder, it focuses more on the sci-fi elements than the dystopian elements, at least in my opinion. Like, just all of the stuff that happens in here, it just, I don't know. And also, there's a lot of main characters in this, and I feel like as though, even though like Cinder is, I guess, the central character in Cinder, but if you read Scarlet and Crest, like, there starts to be a lot more main characters, and the author actually holds all of those main characters really well, and so does Cass Morgan in this book. Next, I am going to recommend Unspoken by Sarah Rees Brennan or The Lynburn Legacy as a whole by Sarah Rees Brennan. I'm recommending this on a lot of reasons, but the main reason is that Cammy Glass, the main character in this book, is totally kick butt. And Cinder is also, in my opinion, a totally kick-butt female main character. And I find that it's hard to find female main characters that are kick-butt, that keep their values and their morals and their ethics intact throughout the whole novel, instead of like changing them for a boy, for example. But I feel like neither one of these characters, whether it be Cammy or Cinder, has done those things, but they've still stayed totally kick-butt and totally strong. I recommend this book all the time. So if you watch my channel and you haven't read it yet, what are you doing? And next, I am recommending Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I'm recommending this if you liked Marissa Meyer's world building in the Lunar Chronicles. I find that Marissa Meyer does a really good job of not only developing her characters very well, but also developing her world and her setting very well. And these guys are also amazing at that. The characters do not fall, like, the characters are just so well built, but the world is also so well built, and neither one of them has to take the sideline for the other one to do well, and I feel like the Lunar Chronicles does that very well as well. And next, I am recommending Morning Glories by Nick Spencer and Joe Eisma. I am recommending this. You guys know how much I love this series. I love it a lot. But I'm recommending this because there is a lot, and I do mean a lot, of main characters in this series. And there's also a lot of main characters in the Lunar Chronicles. And I find that the Lunar Chronicles develops all of their characters at a separate rate, but they all develop very well in the end. And I feel like that's the same thing happens in this book as well. And also I feel like every main character in the Lunar Chronicles has their own, like, they have their own abilities, for lack of a better term, to give. Like, some of them are very strong and some of them are very moral and etc. And I feel like every character has a reason for being there, and this series definitely has that same feeling. Definitely. And next I am recommending The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I was trying to think of exactly why I was recommending this, but I couldn't come up with an exact reason, except for that when I was thinking of books to recommend if someone liked Cinder, this just really came to mind, but I have no exact reason why. I think it's probably because Blue as a main character is totally kick-ass, as well as Cinder being totally kick-butt, but I think it's also just that there's a lot of main characters again, and kind of one of those plot lines where you're like, what's going on? What's happening? I need to know what's happening. Also, love interest. Is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? And last but not least, I am recommending another kick-butt female main character, and I am recommending Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. And yeah, I'm recommending it because the main character is totally kick butt, just like Cinder, but also this is another like kind of like fantasy-esque, magic-esque kind of book, and so is Cinder. So if you liked kind of the like fantasy elements to Cinder, I think you will definitely like this as well. Okay, so those are all of the books that I recommend if you are looking for something to read after reading Cinder and or the Lunar Chronicles as a whole. If you have read or want to read any of these books, comment down below and let me know. And if you have recommendations that you think people would like if they liked Cinder, always comment down below and let me know, because I am always looking for other recommendations as well. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading. Bye!